Hey guys, good morning here. So I wanted to share two charts. I wish I was on a computer because at least that way I can show you guys a little bit easier. I can show you guys correlating charts or two different charts at the same time, right? Right now I'm just going to be going back and forth between BTC and Ethereum to kind of show you guys exactly what's going on right now. Um, so we actually, for the week, we actually crossed bullish back on the week of June 21st for Bitcoin. But what I wasn't worried about is for the month we were still 100% bearish. Look at that. Look at those big, huge bearish candles for every single month of since May, right? So May, June, even July. Even for July, we have um, that bigger bear candle, right? So the top of May was up here, and then June at 8655, and then July we seem to be hitting tops of almost 10,000. So for the reverse MACD, at least it's telling me that there's no way that it doesn't seem likely that July is going to be closing bullish for Bitcoin. We're going to be closing bearish. I'm like 95% sure for the most part, right? But on the weekly, that was my only worry for Bitcoin. What was going to happen on the weekly back on June 21st? Because we actually closed bullish on June 21st for the weekly, but guess what happened? Every single time we actually went sideways, sorry, we closed back here, but every single time every single week afterwards, we didn't actually close higher. We kept going lower and lower and lower and lower, right? Even right now, we're going back and retesting that 34,699 level. So we're pretty close. We actually did retest it, and we're still trading sideways. So usually what happens for like the reverse MACD, right, is you can do something like this. Let me see if I can find an arrow. So if you get a signal down here, right, or if I think that we're gonna be bullish, and for example, if I get a bullish signal, right, and price goes down like that on a bullish signal, that basically means that that's not very good. You can the next time we actually get a bear trigger, that's when you should short, right? Or when you get a bull signal and price just kind of trades sideways like this, that's also not very good because if price trends down or sideways when we get a bull trigger like right here on the reverse MACD, especially down here on the stochastic, right? We created clear bottoms, clear bottoms, and then you still needed to shoot up towards the upside, right? So if it does anything like this, if we have essentially a perfect buy for Bitcoin and it trails down or sideways, that's very 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 bad, because that's how we know that this bullish push is super weak, and the next time we have a bear trigger, it's gonna dump even further, right? So just from experience and from looking at Bitcoin, when the stochastic is already at bottoms and it creates bear triggers, it usually tends to dump hard, right? It usually tends to dump pretty hard and pretty fast. So that's my only worry, right? Especially that's my only worry for Bitcoin right now. My only worry for Bitcoin is that it's it tends to break towards the downside pretty hard and pretty fast. If it's already oversold and then it starts creating reverse MACD triggers to basically short, right? That's the only bad part of Bitcoin or crypto in general. And Bitcoin's been doing that for a while now. Bitcoin's been just trading sideways on bull momentum, which is bad. And then if we look, so that's why I think that apart from the monthly being bearish still, that's why I think that Bitcoin's still gonna go lower. It just based off of like history and what Bitcoin likes to do. If we create another bear trigger sometime soon, on the weekly, I definitely think we're gonna go down lower, and that's where we're gonna see more of like a 26K Bitcoin. We already closed under previous resistance, right? I mean, we already closed under here. We already closed under 34,862. The thing is, we haven't closed under 32K. We crossed it, but we haven't closed anything under 32K for Bitcoin. So we're still above 32K, right? We went over it. You guys can see this candle right here. We crossed over it, but we didn't actually close a full candle under this 32,000 support. So Bitcoin's still doing pretty well as far as trading sideways and keeping this specific trading zone, but I think we actually dump lower to 26, like around this trading range, as soon as we get another trigger towards the downside. But it does look like for this week at least, Bitcoin is going to be closing another a bullish week, right? Because you guys can see down here, we're already in bullish momentum, but you guys can see we were weakening right here. You can see this dark maroon candle. We actually made another lighter red candle, which means that it's a bull week. But what I did want to see on Ethereum, and I wanted to show you guys. See, this is why I wish I had both charts next to each other, because it basically correlates what's going to happen. What I think can happen, right? What I think can happen is we haven't seen, we haven't seen Ethereum close a week bull yet, right? It's still been on a bear momentum trend, but right now, see, Bitcoin closed on June 21st a bull week. Bullish momentum, and it's been trading sideways. But Ethereum has been trailing sideways on bear momentum, and trading sideways on bear momentum is actually really, really, really good, because if you have, for example, if you just trade sideways on bear momentum instead of down, that means that most likely the market is setting up for a jump to the upside, and that's the thing here. The thing is, Ethereum has been trading sideways. It hasn't been trading down. It hasn't been trading. It's actually been trading maybe even better, right? It hasn't even been trading down too much. It's been trading in peaks. Look at that. You see? It's been trading in peaks. Peak 1, peak 2 over here, and then right now we're actually going to be closing this week in bullish territory. And the thing is, we're getting a perfect buy-in signal, right? What's the buy-in trigger? We're creating perfect bottoms on the stochastic. And we are going to be having that red trigger, which basically means, sell your shorts, which also means buy a ticker on the reverse MACD. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, because like I said, Ethereum technically has been trading sideways on bear momentum, which is really, really, really good. And Bitcoin has been trading down and sideways on bull momentum. So, like I said, Bitcoin can definitely shows me that we're gonna the next time something like a bear momentum happens on Bitcoin, it's gonna dump hard. Whereas Ethereum, it started its bear week back in May 17th, and yeah, we had that huge dump, right, from 3,500 down to lows of like 2,078. That was back on May in the week of May 17th. In the week of May 17th, it dropped 50% basically. But ever since then, on bear momentum, it's been trading sideways. It's been trading up and down. It hasn't even been trading sideways. So it wants to push towards the upside. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Ethereum, because last time, I mean, anytime we have a really nice bull trigger, we tend to see what actually happens with Ethereum, how fast they can actually move, right? So the last time we actually had anything like this was back in December 2019. Price went from 378 to highs of, oh sorry, not 378. Price went from $134 up to like 300. So it did an almost 50% push, almost 100% push towards the upside, right? And again, back in April of last year, it went from 171, to highs of 269. So it does have a really good history of moving towards the upside. But Ethereum and all crypto, they like really moving hard when the stochastic is already overbought. So when the stochastic is already on the higher side, like up here, like a little bit closer to the 80, 70, like 50, 60 level, that's when it likes to pull the trigger and really start moving, right? Look at up here. Stochastic, overbought, reverse MACD signal, boom, and you have a huge trigger towards the upside, right? So that's how we have to compare it to back on December 2019 and also back in April 13 of 2020 and 2019, because that's when those signals kind of came in, right? That's when Ethereum decided to push really hard towards the upside on a similar trigger, right? We can't use the triggers back from March 29th or October 19th because the stochastic isn't overbought. So I definitely do think that Ethereum on this weekly creation of closing a bull candle can definitely run hard. I don't think it's. I do think there's a chance that it can run back to previous all-time highs. I don't think it will, just because Bitcoin is still trailing down. I think it might. I think that it might actually push to something like 29.57. So I don't know how. I don't know if it will, but I think if it does, it's gonna hit the next major resistance, which would probably be somewhere around, like I said, 29.57, somewhere like 28.46. I'd say that it can definitely run towards there, if it has a really nice push on the bullish side. So right now it's very interesting to see. Like I said, Bitcoin, it looks like it can close. It's looking bad because it looks like it can drop anytime soon. But Ethereum, it just created that. We're barely gonna close that bullish candle for the week. So it's very interesting. We have to see what's gonna happen, because I do think that now, if we do see a push towards the upside, even if we go back to like 22,300, something even in the range of like 2,800, I do think Ethereum would be now leading the market 100%. But again, we might not see this for another month or two, because we're just creating that bull trigger on Ethereum. So it's going to be very interesting to just kind of keep an eye on this for a while. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys. It was just very it was very interesting to look at both charts and how they're correlating, because BTC looks like it's going to dump anytime soon, and Ethereum looks like it's barely going to start its rally. But again, is Ethereum actually going to start a rally, or is Ethereum going to trade sideways just like what BTC did, and Ethereum is going to follow Bitcoin? We don't know yet. So that's the interesting part, and that's what I'm really looking forward to just kind of looking and keeping an eye on for Ethereum, because for the next couple of weeks, if Ethereum rallies 100%, it's going to start leading crypto. I'll see you guys later.